What's your biggest character flaw? I have to go all or nothing with everything I do. Makes a new change extremely difficult and hard to achieve. If one little thing goes wrong, I bail. Laziness. The more lazy I am, the more lazy I become. Hard to break it now. I procrastinate often, and continually try to come up with reasons to put things off. Overanalyzing everything. Any look, gesture, comment. My insecurities are through the roof. I'm a one-upper. I really don't mean to. It's meant to show I have a shared experience with whomever I'm speaking to, but it never comes out that way. Too shy, even though I have no reason to be. I define myself by my failures. Feeling guilty for the smallest things. Something I've heard a couple of times before is that people are really bad at knowing themselves. That said, my greatest weakness might just be not knowing my actual greatest weakness. Edit, this is paradoxical, isn't it? I can't be satisfied with what I have. Every time I finally get something that I wanted in the past, I end up wanting more than before. I understand criticism, but I hate hearing it. I'm 20, but I still think that criticism is a personal attack at me. If it's worded well, I'll be okay, but I still feel argumentative on the inside when someone criticizes my work. I'm doing something, look at the time, and bam, 7 hours passed without really knowing what the fuck I did. I have zero concept of time and distance. Oh, 5 miles isn't bad. I can easily walk it. Haha. Rip my poor feet. I just gestured to all of me. My mental health issues have ruined and continue to ruin all aspects of my life. I get attached to people way too easily and I care too much. I hate change. I am very unsatisfied with the nature of life. Learn, experience, progress, love, then you just fucking die. It's all aggravatingly pointless. I can never be happy with life because of the constant thought. It eats at my mind and I feel like everything I do is a distraction from the looming dread that is death and the consequent loss of everything I've accumulated. I wish I believed in God. I can be pretty selfish. I care about other people. I just usually base my behavior off of what I want to do rather than what other people want me to do. I like helping people, but at the same time I can get frustrated when asked to do anything slightly inconvenient for me unless I want to. If I am nervous about something, I just avoid it until it's an actual problem. I'm very performance driven, to the point where I will overextend myself and burn out before I speak up. I'm getting better though. I'm always tired. I'm not lazy, but I'm definitely always wishing I were home in my bed if I'm somewhere else, and it sucks to be that person. I joke around a lot. It's my way to show people I like them, because I like to make them laugh. However, it's also a way for me to deal with anxiety and other emotions. Sometimes I have a hard time turning it off and can't help but joke around at times when I should be taking things seriously, and I know that can bother people. I'm pretentious. I put myself on a pedestal. I trust people way too easily. I can't handle criticism. I am too hard on my son, and I know that it will affect his relationship with me in the future. I'm extremely awkward and don't have many friends. Reddit allows me to interact with a lot of people without actually having to see them. I also am in high school and still don't know how to talk to pretty girls. I am also suffering from self-diagnosed gaming disorder. Sometimes I spend all day on electronics and I put my responsibilities behind me. Whenever my parents try to get me to stop, I get angry and sometimes violent. This is my biggest flaw. I allow myself to be chained to electronics, as if I have no cares in the world. It is just so hard to stop once you're hooked. With all that said, I am glad to say it is getting a little better. I'm too afraid to change from who I am into who I want to be. Also, I'm old as fuck now and it's exponentially more difficult. My superiority complex. Besides that, I'm perfect. My social skills and shyness. Not finishing what I start. I'm a hypocrite. Lying about small insignificant things to seem more interesting. I have pretty much no determination to do anything, and I feel my emotions are dull to the point I feel out of body and forcing myself to smile, laugh, cry, get mad. Every day. I'm trying to reverse something to make me feel normal emotions again, but I'm not determined enough. I am extraordinarily humble. I tend to find the merit to both sides of everything, social issues, politics, etc., which makes it hard for me to pick a side and stick with it. I don't like accepting help. Ever. I have a problem with extreme envy and tend to attribute other successes to special advantages. For example, they have a cherry disposition so people want to help them, or they are getting financial help I'm not getting, or just luck. So, because I view myself as not having those advantages, or having a disadvantage, I view things as unachievable for myself. So then I don't put in much effort and, surprise, I don't get those successes or things I want. It's a cycle. It's a lot to do with low self-esteem. Sometimes I literally think I just suck so bad that the universe itself is against me. My main disadvantage: I consider myself a logical person yet place a lot of stock in luck. Luckily, haha, other times I see how absurd that sounds. Laziness and impatience. Those are probably connected, too. Laziness is a big one, but low self-esteem is my biggest flaw. I worry about the smallest and ridiculous things. Procrastination and lack of motivation to do the things I actually have love, passion, and talent for. Cowardice. My life revolves around avoiding failure and rejection. I overshare. I'll tell people things that looking back I realize no one else shares about themselves. It's like I hear myself doing it, but the filter between my brain and my mouth malfunctions. In a professional setting it's incredibly unprofessional to share personal details. In a personal social setting it comes across as weird, and I'm sure it makes people annoyed, uncomfortable. I'm working on it and practicing keeping that filter in place. I have a threshold that if passed I will give absolutely zero fucks about what I say or who I say it to. If I feel wronged, I absolutely will speak out regardless of the consequences. It's almost cost me my job. And I have absolutely been in the hot seat more than once because of it. I don't talk shit. I don't antagonize. But once I get past the point of no return, I will not back down and I will hold my ground regardless of what the other option would be. Saying sorry? Nah, not gonna happen. Admit I'm wrong? Nah. Not if I'm at this point. As humble as I try to act, I have a pretty bad superiority complex. That I can't shut the fuck up. I know I need to listen, but I just talk and talk and talk because some little part of me has something to prove to the world. I hate that I can't change this. I pretend to be cheerful and have everyone convinced that I am. Deep down, it's just a show. Alcoholic. I get burned out too easily. I'm 32 and just started college again because I felt my current job was a dead end, and I hated everything about it, the customers, the products, everything. I'm just totally burned out. Which is why I'm afraid of getting burned out on college. I can't get a new job without new skills and a degree. But I let hate fuel me, lol. My future isn't going to be some retail store manager gig. I want to actually be something. I don't feel like I bring anything to conversations. I just kind of use generic statements to carry them on, ask meaningless questions, nod and laugh. I can rarely start a conversation on a brand new topic eloquently. I also twist my hair way too much. Passive aggressiveness, cause I love everyone, but they are also pieces of shit. Nothing makes really sense and it's pure hell. But if people get my jokes, that's the nearest I can get to happy, by my standards RN. I lie to myself to feel less pain. My biggest character flaw is that my love kinda sucks : never seems to be enough for myself or others. That or I lie to myself lol. I worry constantly. To the point where it sometimes interferes with things like sleeping and doing daily activities. I'm either way too full of myself or have no confidence at all. No in between. Arrogance. I care, I tried to do what's right too much. Too insecure. My anxiety disorder. I'm really aloof with people. I was bullied so much in high school I kinda assume everyone has a secret arsehole side that they will unleash the moment they get to know me well enough to decide I'm pathetic and deserving of their contempt. So I basically keep almost everyone but a select few at arm's length. Great ideas, very little follow through. I don't really like most people. If I have to socialize, egg a birthday party, I dread it for weeks before, then do an Irish goodbye before everyone else is leaving. I push all the blame on myself and never let it go if it inconveniences anyone. I don't get art vision till level 10. Can't square idealism with pragmatism because it feels like too much of an ethical compromise, so I dig in my heels and get depressed. I'm too trusting in my optimism that people are inherently good and then I get screwed over. Being impatient with people I deeply care about. I tend to be very stubborn when it comes to opinions on certain matters. There is no way to change my mind, unless you can give me concrete evidence that disproves my opinion. I like that I stick to my beliefs no matter if they are popular or not, but I do wish that I could be more open to accepting others' beliefs. Crippling anxiety. Laziness, clinginess, really insecure, smartass, too loud. I always doubt myself when I try to do a project. I just think it won't work. When I get sad or feel hurt I get angry. I don't trust anyone. At this point the only thing I'm caring about is staying afloat financially, so I often forget a lot of things. Example, I forgot the new guy's name at work. It's been 3 weeks. Everyone calls him by his nickname, so I just go with it cause I'm working. I can't detach emotionally from things. Lack of empathy. I give zero shits. I can't seem to care about pretty much anything. Like a relative will die and I'll be like lol oof. Just the small simple fact that I like drugs more than people. Not a DD like Ted. No, seriously, I'm fine. People aren't reliable, so I found something that is. Probably my social awkwardness, inability to talk to people and make friends. It makes it pointless to go anywhere I don't need to and sort of forces me to isolate myself away from people. I had a rough upbringing that left me with some serious trust issues. It's always difficult talking to new people, because I'm always unintentionally distant. Somehow one of my strengths doubles as a major flaw. I'm pretty open and easy to trust, but it goes both ways. Unless I get a gut feeling about someone, I'm pretty gullible and far too trusting. I will disregard an entire person for one stupid viewpoint they hold. Introvertness. I wanna be social, but when I'm actually in a social setting, house party, potluck, fundraiser, etc., I begin to panic and try to find a bathroom to hide in or leave the event. I hardly ever say bye to anyone because I'm afraid they'll try to convince me to stay longer. My anxiety at these social events is slowly reducing my number of friends. I have a few insecurities. I smoke too much weed and watch a bit too much porn. Borderline personality disorder. Woo. The ASD and PTSD are fun too. I'm too serious about everything. People think my past makes me a villain, and while technically true I have made long strides to becoming a hero for my girls. People tell me I always look nervous and I'm not, but now I'm always self-conscious about looking nervous. I only smile when something funny happens or I see a small animal. I forget how to talk to people other than my friends. Biggest character flaw for me has to be. Honestly, I am literally the killjoy when it comes to people. Oh, you're happy cause you got a house or a new girlfriend or what have you? I don't actually give a fuck about your happiness. And I definitely am a bastard for that. Selfish. Me. A hardwired resistance to accepting compliments. I always feel like people who compliment me are trying to manipulate me. Anxiety basically runs my life. Already panicking about panicking in the future and making plans around it all. Gotta love it. How quick that fight mode switch flips in my head. I'm an arsehole and jaff. Laziness. Self-loathing. Cynicism. Apathy. Pessimism. Complete and utter hatred for the human race. Hopelessness. I let my anxiety get the better of me too much. I can't speak to people out of my friend group. I just never know what to say. I am too embarrassed to talk to anyone even if it is important. An example is my boss told me to get some paperwork done, but when I got back to my desk I realized I didn't have them and I had to ask him for a copy. I was too embarrassed too. And yes, I did get in trouble for it. Lack of motivation. I'll start something then halfway through I give up. Perfectionism. Both my parents were perfectionists, and one of them was an alpha female too, so no one is a bigger enemy of me than me. I'll chew my own ass out for stupid shit, thank you very much. It's already done. It's cute you think you're better at it than me.